below zero hits us in life. Built for the cold, you say? That ain't right. Too cold for the average Joe, just right for those who hear the show. In the image of greatness you were made, but taught by the world to be played. A new generation, we're building. No victims, we're creating. Them haters, keep hating, cause Gen Zero, we blazing. So, I am here with my friends, Mike and Carmen Kosychek, friends that I actually met through our mutual CPA. Yep. And the connections we have formed and understood. Even talking with Mike just now about how I also lived in Greenfield, of all places, gosh. Right off Forest Home, right? Literally, I'm not even kidding. Can't even make this up. Where like Joe did this. I grew up in Hillsboro, Oregon. They currently live in Hillsboro, Oregon as their other place. And I'm like, I've been in Arizona. We're right now in is this technically Tucson? Yeah. Okay, it's just gorgeous. I absolutely love the view, and it's beautiful outside right now in April. Yeah, so gorgeous. I'm just so thankful for you guys and your time and just being willing to open up your home and kind of just like share with the audience, because Built for the Cold podcast started because a lot of people were asking me like, dude, your story, like share on resilience of all the different like D's I've gone through in my life without blaming the God. Mm-hmm. And as people of faith and people of like building businesses and overcoming a lot of different things you've shared earlier, like what does it mean to you as far as like resilience, especially in this world right now that feels sometimes lost, sometimes isn't sure where to turn? And if you guys could share kind of your experience and life experience, and it'd be great.
Really how it started, Mike worked at the Postal Service and I was in school to be a nurse practitioner. And what we wanted was for Mike not to have to work overtime so he could be a dad. And we started with real estate at the time. And just if we could just get one house and make an extra $30,000 a year, he would not have to work any overtime. We would be okay. And we chose to homeschool our family. No one had done that we knew of. And in one generation, rather, the public schools that we went to were totally different. And we just didn't agree with what was being done. So we chose a different path.
This is 30 years ago, not now.
Yeah,
because I mean, I talk with friends now like that, like everyone, there's a lot going on in schools. You're talking to a friend this morning on the way here, like her daughter, it's crazy what schools are trying to, not to knock schools, insane. But it's getting crazy. Yeah. So, but this is 30
years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
very different.
We decided to unplug and do our own thing, and we did real estate, and that just kept going, and we got a lot of properties and such. And then September 11th happened. And people were losing their jobs and couldn't keep up on the mortgages and the houses that we had. And the house that we built in Shanahan, Illinois, we couldn't sell it. It wouldn't sell. The market was upside down.
Wow.
We had to give that house up in a foreclosure.
Yeah, we're trying to do the right thing because, like we had several properties, and that time was devastating for many people. And then people were losing their jobs, and some of those people were renting from us at the time and couldn't make payment or could make a partial payment. So we're trying to do the right thing. So we're taking out of our personal account to keep the mortgage current, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to try and do the right thing. And after a point, it's like we were starting to be pulled underwater, and just we couldn't do it anymore.
We read a lot at that time. It was called the hamster wheel. I think it was.
Yeah.
And learned how, we took our kids to court with us to go through the foreclosure, to delay things as much as we could, realizing what was going to happen. We followed Susie Orman. The tax laws were going to change, that whatever you gave up in a foreclosure, you would be financially responsible for. It would look like normal, ordinary income. And we're like, holy cow, that would be even more devastating. We couldn't do that. So we had to walk from the house, give it up in a foreclosure. We had to do a bankruptcy. We never had any fun of bankruptcy. We never had any fun credit card debt. Student loans still could not get chucked. It was literally just for these properties. So we lost everything, moved down south to Tennessee. We lived there for 2 years. And then that's when I decided I needed to go back to school to be a different kind of nurse practitioner. So I became a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. We moved back north to Wisconsin because it was the second shortest state in the nation for psychiatric care. And we just didn't want to go back to Illinois taxes. After you leave Illinois, we didn't want to go back to Illinois taxes. So we rebuilt our lives and pulled money out of Mike's 401k, started a practice, and we kept going. And we didn't give up. we're not divorced. We've been married for 35 years in a row now.
Just for reference, everyone, that if you're listening, that's older than me, which is, I say that because they look amazing. They don't look like they've been married for 35 years, which is incredible. So I guess that's what, having God in your life does to you.
Absolutely. And we just have rebuilt and we kept going and persevered. And it was absolutely hard, but really through everything that we've been through, now we can help others. I mean, our culture taught us one of the worst things is a bankruptcy. And we took the kids with us, taught them, what to go through, went into the courts to see the judge, talked about how we were downsized from jobs, couldn't get decent paying jobs in the market at that time for overeducated people, and learned how to follow the rules of the game. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the TV series Schitt's Creek?
No.
Oh. And actually, well, it's kind of like about a family that loses like everything. It's like their last name is Schitt or something like that. But yeah, it's called Schitt's Creek, and it's about their family just they lose everything.
Yeah.
And they end up in this small town. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that just reminded me of that story. But yeah.
But that's what happened to us, and it's to learn how to overcome and don't get upset with God. It was a learning experience, and now we look back and see it. Like at the time, you don't see it. But now we see how many people we have helped by saying, I understand, we've been there, here's what we did.
It's like a lot of people, you look back, as the years go by, it brings clarity. You can look back and see where the dots connected, and it's like, gosh, it kind of made sense at the time. But yeah, things are thrown.
When you're in it, you don't see it that way.
You don't see it that way.
What did it feel like for the audience here? Just when you're in the moment and you don't see it at that time, what did it feel like? How did you process things? What were those conversations? How did the kids feel? Like, what did that?
I would say it's shameful because our culture teaches that you don't do things like this, that it was like, and it wasn't what we did. It was the economy.
Circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, no one had control over that.
Yeah.
And the shame, the guilt, the desperation of we're trying to keep a roof over our heads. We're doing everything right, but there's not help because we're married with children. If we were divorced, we could have gotten help. But if, we're doing the right thing, but because we did the right thing, we didn't fall into the buckets of where you could get help. And so it was a lot to teach the children, to bring them with us to court, to say, let's go learn about the judicial system, and here's how this works, and here's why we're begging the judge to stay in the house a little bit longer for the foreclosure, and here's where we learned this from, watching television, reading Susie Orman, plugging in with financial people of here is what happens, here's the tax code real world of what's changing, and how does this impact you, instead of sitting back and woe is me. It was take the bulls by the horn. Like, we have to come out okay. Like, there's not another option.
The main thing was, make sure food on the table and a roof over the head.
And we were safe.
Yeah, and we were safe. And again, everybody's going to be different, worse than us or a little bit better than us. But, that's where we were at the time. And that's just, what we did. And we tried to make some moves to pivot and see where that got us, whether it worked or it didn't work. You try things, some things work, some things don't, but you keep going. I think that's, the biggest thing. And things turned in a good direction for us. It took time, but it led us to a good point.
You can get out of a bankruptcy, own houses again, multiple houses, businesses, all of that. Once you learn the techniques of being an entrepreneur, you can do it. It's literally learning that skill set, which is very different than of a W-2 employee job, and learning to pick the pieces up and bring it on. What are we going to do? And now we understand why you see all of these people that have tried and failed. Dave Ramsey, all these people. And now I understand.
And now they have these big names, this big presence, and obviously people, you can see this beautiful backyard view that they have at just one of their properties, the cars, all the stories and all the things you guys have done now to show the material success. But even beyond that, your faith in God and your ability to just see things. And what I appreciate about you two the most is just you don't forget where you came from. you don't forget how hard it was. Like for both of you, like what does resilience mean and just how you live your life now compared to where you started out?
I think we were talking about this just a little earlier, that our mindset is, we're good, we're doing good now. Well, we feel like we're doing all right, but you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Something could happen, and I think our what we have up here is that it could all be taken away from us. However, with what we have done and what we now know, we'll be able to replicate it again. I think that's true with most entrepreneurs, is they know now that they've done it. If something's taken away from them, they know how to rebuild it.
Yeah.
It's not, you're starting over, but you know the process.
It's a skill.
You
Yeah.
know this, that skill set.
a lot
yeah,
faster.
It's a lot faster. So I think I feel like we're humble, and
I would say, yeah, absolutely. I can attest to not
Yeah.
you yourself, but absolutely you guys are. And I appreciate that so much.
we thank God where we're at. The glory, as they say, it does. It goes to Him, and we're trying to do the best we can with what we have, and trying to pay that forward. But again, if something happens,
It happens.
It happens,
Yeah.
and
Reason.
we'll build back again. And so that's just what you try to do.
It's interesting in my line of work as a nurse practitioner. I am a national speaker. I'm on stages with physicians. I don't come from a background like this.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the success that I've had is that my analogies, my examples are real world, like what you were saying, Joe, that you see that we didn't forget where we came from. I mean, my parents didn't grow up with indoor plumbing in the house. They're not that old. Like, we don't come from a very well educated background that most people do in this cycle of medical fields.
Doctor.
We don't
Absolutely.
come from that. And so what we have done together and what we have chosen to learn together and to change our lineage for our entire family, like, this is truly life changing. And not only our biological children, our children, as we call them with our team, our healthcare virtual assistants, like,
because now you're helping and mentoring people like from other countries.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm Filipino, so I have a soft spot for the Philippines, and you're hiring a lot of people out of the Philippines. So.
Yep, absolutely. And they live there. It's not about coming here. They do come, they do travel with us, but it's what can they do in their own country and in their own culture to take from the different things that we're all learning together about different places that we travel. And again, business write-offs. So business meetings in Iceland, Filipinos with us in Iceland. Who would have thought? Yeah.
That's business. That's the tax code.
Yeah,
We're talking
right.
about that.
But I think that's what I would like to say. That's what our goal is. That's like, we want to help other people to replicate what we're doing. Not to say that people are going to want different things, right? But if we can help in any way, we would love to do that. But again, it's to teach those people also, well, how are you going to pay that forward? How are you going to help others then? Once you start doing well and you're achieving success, and how are you going to help others and pull others up along the way? I think that
That's
in the long
what it's
run,
about.
that's
Like Mike said before, you don't end this life and say, here's all the flashy things that I have. It's not about that. It's
not.
about, what did you do?
Yeah.
Who else did you teach about him? How did you really show your faith?
So what's that saying? Like, success is fleeting. It's more about significance.
And it really is true. You see podcasts and shows like this, like, of people saying, oh, I give back. And I know a lot of people, I wish I had the money to give back. It's not always about the money. It's about the time. It's about the inspiration. It's about the support. It doesn't have to be financial.
Yeah.
And things really do come. I still work. I still see patients. We're not sitting back. We're working every day.
It's almost like, because you've gotten to a certain point, you want people to now experience the gifts that you've received, because then that like, it's way beyond like your own. But it's hard to help people though when we're not in a strong position, because they also kind of see like it's great, but if you're not in a strong position yourself, how can we really help people get to where they are, like we aren't ourselves?
It's like what they say on a plane. You have to put the oxygen on you in order to help someone else. And that's exactly here in life, that you have to be helping yourself so that you can then help others. And helping others, Mike and I have so much joy when we have our team tell others of their bonus that they've earned, or they tell them of we're getting a computer. It's more fun when we travel with our team to see them witness things for the first time.
Yeah.
It truly is like the joy of it for us is to see it through their eyes for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Mike and Carmen, for
Yeah,
your time
thanks
on this.
again, Joe.
And where can people find you, like learn about you, like what you guys do and the businesses you run? And
All over social media, NP Vision, so for Nurse Practitioner Vision. You can find us there.
Mhm.
You can look us up. Our practice is Visionary Psych.
Yep,
Google my
Mike and
name.
Carmen Kosychek.
Yeah.
So I'm going to emphasize that because I've been getting the name wrong. So
That's not an easy one to Google and look up, but I'm sure you can get it
Yeah.
there. So,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll tag it. It's
Yeah.
all good. So
Thank you, Joe.
you're very
Thank you.
welcome.
Thanks.
Cool.
This is where winners learn to be great. Built for the cold, you say? That damn straight. The lessons, the love, the insights from above. Hope you take them and grow, even with another cup of Joe. Thank you for dropping in and listening to the show.